What's up, everybody? Welcome to back to Feudal Forge Worlds. Today we're gonna be making some cheap ass tiles. It's very simple. It looks pretty. I think it looks pretty good. So let's get started. I just used this piece of styrofoam square and used it as a game board for 40k kill team. It's like 27 by 27 inches, and I painted it, added some dirt on it, and it was okay, but I kind of want to upgrade it. So starting off, I just cut me some tiles out of cardboard. I tried to find like a thicker cardboard for this, and then I just glued them with paper glue about half an inch apart, and I kind of made it look a bit messy, so it's kind of like old cobblestone. By messy, I mean I didn't cut the squares exact, and I didn't measure every distance between squares. I just kind of did it randomly. For this next part, I used modeling compound. It's kind of like clay, a bit different, but you can use modeling clay instead of using modeling compound. Clay will be a bit, or air hardening clay will be a bit cheaper. So this modeling compound, you mix in with a bit of water, and it turns into kind of like this mush cottage cheese texture, and it just kind of falls into the cracks between the tiles, like dirt in between the tiles or something like that. I honestly, I put that shit on everything. So yeah, it sinks between the tiles, and it turns out I actually put too much modeling compound on the tiles, so when I painted it, they kind of were even ground, so you couldn't see the tile, like you couldn't see the definitions of the tiles as well. So watch for that when you're putting on your clay or modeling compound. I use dried tea as my dirt, and so I just added some of that on the tiles to kind of give it a more realistic ground feel. And then it was time to paint this thing, so I was going for a kind of dark gray color for these tiles, so I spray painted it black, and then I kind of added highlights of gray to give it a bit more definition. To highlight the tiles a bit more, I painted the modeling compound in between, like the cracks of the tiles, a black and a bit of dark gray. So you can do this a bit more exact. I didn't do it as exact because I'm going to put terrain on this, and it's not going to be something you're going to be staring at the entire time. So it's really up to you how detailed you want your tiles to look. Some of the fronts of the cardboard tiles like got ripped off, and beneath it has that kind of cardboard weird layers under it, or whatever you call them. They kind of look like pipes, so I painted them copper so they look like pipes on the ground. I also left kind of an open area so I could add a manhole and paint a manhole, so just to give the area a bit of character. So I also added some grass in between the cracks of the tiles, so that you get a kind of overgrowth, abandoned city feel. And then I darkened them with a dark wash. And that's basically it. And I'm really happy how it looks. It's very simple, and with some of my homemade terrain on it, I think it looks great. And I'm gonna play some games on it for kill team, 40k kill team. So yeah, with this build, it was kind of an experiment. Like I didn't really know if it was gonna work, and that's kind of the fun thing with building scratch terrain. And obviously, there's no one way of doing things, so you can just fly at it from any direction and do what you think might look cool, or use better material. There's definitely better material out there, or use cheaper material. These are just kind of to inspire you that you can kind of get the feel you want with pretty minimal materials. Also, just for fun, I kind of had a go at doing tiles on one of my terrain, like make it kind of a brick feel to it. And I mean, it looks okay. It looks very messy, but that's the thing about building ruined cities. Like if you're playing a game like 40k and it's ruined cities, you can really get away with just being really messy, and so there's a lot of freedom there. But yeah, I still like it. I think it's got character. It looks kind of cool, and I think I can definitely do, like, maybe if I measure out the tiles a bit more and make it more exact, it will definitely look like a more realistic brick building. But yeah, you can go at it anyway. The process of this build, it doesn't take too long. It's just the drying. You have to wait for the glue to dry and the modeling compound to dry. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more scratch build terrain.